Buiti Benafe. In the language of my people, that means good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, participants in this important conference, I wish to extend a warm greetings to the other panelists and to all participants here present, and in particular to express my gratitude on behalf of the Garifuna Heritage Foundation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, URUME, to the Caribbean Tourism Organization for the opportunity to share some ideas on the Garifuna heritage and culture as it relates to the theme of this 2018 SOTIC conference. We Garifuna, formerly known as the Black Caribs, are a hybrid people, a mix of Amerindian and African. Our roots commence with the Arawak and Island Carib or Kalinago peoples who originated in the Orinoco Basin in South America, in what is present-day Venezuela. Our Kalinago and Arawak ancestors migrated from that continent to the Lesser Antilles long before the colonial era. According to Christopher Taylor in his book, Black Carib Wars, I quote, "The Caribs ranged over the whole island chain, stretching some 500 miles from Grenada and Tobago in the south, through St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Dominica, Martinique, up to Antigua and St. Christopher in the north," unquote. But it was the island of St. Vincent, or Urume, as it was known in our language, that was, according to the French priest Pierre Labat, writing in 1670s, that was, and I quote, "the center of the Carib Republic, where the savages are most numerous," unquote. With the advent of colonialism by the British and French from the 17th century, the way of life of the Kalinago or Carib peoples was severely disrupted, and the clash of cultures had major historical results. There are various versions of the historical sequence of events, but the traffic of slaves from Africa to the Caribbean ultimately resulted in the presence of Africans on the island of St. Vincent, either as escaped slaves or survivors of shipwrecks. Over time, these Africans and Kalinago peoples merged and exiled by the British to Roatan on the country of Honduras in Central America, and arrived there on April 12, 1797. The intention of the exile was to punish and destroy a nation that had dared to resist the colonial enterprise. Our survival is a testament to the strong spirit of resistance which embodies all our Caribbean people. Today, it is estimated that over 300,000 Garifuna reside in Central America and elsewhere, particularly the United States of America. As Garifuna people, we were fortunate since that time to have maintained all the elements of our culture, namely our language, spirituality, traditional medicines, food, music, and dance. As a testament to this, UNESCO declared the Garifuna heritage and culture as a masterpiece of the intangible heritage of mankind in 2001. Given the history and the geographical reach that I have outlined above, our traditional medicine and wellness practices are therefore a combination of the indigenous Amerindian traditions which can still be found across the Caribbean. Both these traditions are based on the overarching principles of respect and reverence for the ancestors, as well as the importance of sustainable use of the earth's natural resources. Our traditional healing practices involve the use of natural herbs, which are sometimes identified in dreams or through the consultation with our spiritual healers, called buyes. And this word is also used by the Kalina people in Suriname and South America. The buye, if required, can conduct several sacred rituals, The most important healing ceremony is called the dugu. This ritual engages the extended family of the person who is ill. It involves communal participation in the form of dances, drumming, singing, and offering of food to the ancestors, which culminates in the healing. This is a tradition which emerges from our African ancestry. There is also a rich tradition of our herbal medicines passed on through generations and are also used by ordinary members of our community for healing illnesses experienced by family members. These include cures for childhood complaints, herbal medicines for reducing the pain of childbirth, massages, and other wellness practices for improved general well-being. Food preparation and wellness is appropriate to be discussed in the context of our traditional wellness and health practices as well. Our staple diet of cassava, vegetables, and fish provides a source of potential health benefits. This diet was recorded in various historical accounts as being that of the Kalinago people. Their lifestyle was also described as one which favored extended periods of communal relaxation, a factor which the European observers failed to understand or appreciate. In the broader context, if the overall holistic experience of our Garifuna culture is made available to visitors who are respectful of its value, it can be linked to niche markets which are targeting persons who are seeking experiences which provide new sources of inspiration and strengthening for them. Particular persons from the Garifuna diaspora in North America and Europe, the Caribbean, the wider Pan-African diaspora, or visitors from more stressful work or world environments, seeking a space for healthy lifestyles, spiritual guidance, renewal, and reflection. Visitors can be engaged over time with communities in rich experiences that are educational and authentic. Some potential experiences which visitors may enjoy might include participatory workshops on various aspects of the preparation and identification of traditional medicine, study tours, visits to traditional healers and medicinal gardens, visits to medicinal trails, development of living farms and traditional villages, the recreation of indigenous sites with appropriate tourist products included, and the establishment of retreat centers. The 2003 UNESCO Convention for the Safeguarding of the Intangible Cultural Heritage defines the intangible cultural heritage as being embodied in those practices, expressions, knowledge, and skills, as well as in associated object and cultural spaces that communities and individuals recognize as part of their cultural heritage. Transmitted through generations and constantly recreated, it provides humanity with a sense of identity and continuity. The Garifuna heritage and culture represents significant potential in terms of an intangible cultural heritage asset for the Caribbean. Our traditions have become one of the motivations for travel to the communities where Garifuna reside, providing a growing opportunity for visitors to experience traditional medicine and wellness practices and the interpretations of nature and the universe. I propose, in closing, yes, the Caribbean region has a platform to develop a common message based on our shared history. In the context of our wellness practices, the Garifuna wellness practices can be positioned as part of a story of resilience and sustainability. I propose that we look at establishing a new toll route or heritage network, which would be similar to that of the Munda Maya concept in Central America. This SOTIC 2018 conference has as its focus the need for a new direction in Caribbean tourism, and this engagement with aspects of the intangible cultural heritage of indigenous communities is part of this process. Through this conference, we are continuing a conversation within the tourism sector, which needs to extend to all stakeholders, particularly communities and individuals whose daily lives represent the maintenance of the intangible cultural heritage, which we hope to preserve for future generations. Thank you.